Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the Israeli A-4H Skyhawk at 8.3 battle rating. The first of the Skyhawk series in the Israeli line. This one is the first in the attacker line or multi-role line. It can also be used as a fighter, of course, so this is quite a versatile plane when it comes to that. This at 8.3 battle rating has no afterburner. It has a passive radar. It has a good air brake, and it is of course a delta wing. And delta wings can have problems ripping wings in tight turns and stuff like that. So turning is a little bit of a risky business at high speeds in this plane. It's not something we're not used to in the Israeli line lately. A lot of planes that had some troubles with rippage and stuff like that, with the faturs and all that jazz. But this one had it a little bit as well, but if you keep it fast and keep it in a straight line, it has two fantastic guns as well that can really, after you throw off your bomb load or your rockets or whatever, you still have very capable head-on possibilities in this plane with the 30mm DEFA guns. So all in all, I find this package with the Skyhawk quite interesting. It is also quite sturdy plane, apart from the wing rips. So yeah, it's quite interesting. This is the only model without missiles, so you can either go also air to air. It can equip extra gun pods, which is interesting, but this one doesn't have the missiles, so you're just relying on the guns, but you have quite a little bit of ammo load that can get you through some tough situations, as you will see. Now, the speeds are also okay at 8.3. The maximum speed at sea level without WEP or without afterburner is 1076 kilometers an hour. At 4500 meters this is 846, and at 6500 meters this is 742 kilometers an hour. This is an indicated airspeed and as I said, this plane does not have an afterburner. The top speed in a dive is 1109 before she redlines and 1200 before she rips apart. That is quite a nice window, almost 100 kilometers an hour. This is fine. This is the usual window. It does have great acceleration in a dive, but unfortunately we don't get our fourth kill there. But yeah, great head-on capabilities in this plane, as I said, and also good for deflection shots and that jazz. Very, very nice. Control stiffening in this plane. It has excellent roll rate. This is one of its best characteristics. Roll rate, it's excellent. And the control stiffening in a dive is almost absent. At 900 kilometers an hour you notice a small tick in the roll, the aileron compression, but the elevator stays functional, and after that it is just smooth sailing until the rip speed. So rolling in this plane and trying to get the guns on target is quite possible. The only thing you have to be aware of that you don't pull too many G's, because the delta wing can be fragile in that situation. But it is definitely possible to do some boom and zooming in this plane, and I'm very curious to see the later models with the missiles and how you can use that from altitude as an sort of an interceptor. As this plane comes from altitude, as you start with an air spawn, it can be quite interesting to just take missiles, if that's an option, right? I haven't seen the later two yet, but this one doesn't have that, so just bombs, throw them off, and then you can gunship. It's very nice. The stall speed in the plane is 130 kilometers an hour. That's perfectly fine. That's great. Excellent firepower, as I said. I'm kinda in love with these DEFA guns, the 30mm DEFA 5.52s. I heard there's some French modification or Israeli modification. No, it's French. It's French. Because this plane, these guns are in the French line as well. That's some French iteration of the Aiden guns, I've heard. But I'm not sure if that's correct. I didn't check that. But if that's correct, then yeah, I know immediately why I love these guns. These 30mm, very effective, very lethal, and great spread as well. Just very tight beam, and It doesn't seem like they're flying through your shots, let's say that. 150 rounds per gun, decent ammo load, better than most of the Soviets. Not 100 rounds, but also not 200 rounds. So yeah, I would say quite decent. And apart from all that capability as a fighter, this plane has bombs, rockets, gun pods and combos. It cannot combine anything with the gun pods, but the rocket and bomb combinations are quite interesting. So you can do ground pounding to your heart's content. I think this plane is also ideal in ground RB. A very, very strong plane there. Very sturdy, but also very versatile, which gives you a lot of options, which you need in ground RB. Performance, the acceleration in a straight line is good. In a dive it's very good. It has decent energy retention both in the horizontal and in the vertical. It does bleed a lot of speed when you start turning. That is a fact. Even if you're carefully turning, it bleeds lots of speed there. And you have to turn carefully, of course, as you don't want to rip that delta wing. But it is risky to turn and to make maneuvers because it does bleed quite a bit of speed there. So the energy retention in a turning is not that great. You have good climb rate though. Plane is perfectly fine, has good thrust and can get up to altitude, especially with that air spawn. And if you equip her lightly, this is one of those planes that attacks that can actually be equipped with nothing. So you can go empty with her. And I hope you can equip her, at least the later versions that have missiles, just with the missiles, because then you can just use it as a high altitude fighter that comes from above. And it would be very interesting to see what the Skyhawk can do in that sense. The turn time in the plane, as I said, is one of its weaknesses. It's bad, below average with flaps. 670 kilometers an hour is the rip speed for those flaps. And that is not very good when it is compared to the speed of this plane and the possibilities. So yeah, flaps, well, you can use them of course in a dedicated turn fight. If you're in a sustained turn fight where you're just making more and more maneuvers and your speed drops below 700, you will be able to start using them at 670. As I said, the roll rate in this plane is excellent. So this plane is very capable of defensive maneuvers while being attacked from above or from behind in a dogfight. Of course, you'll get a lot of missiles shot at you. Sometimes also, of course, the other person can shoot you in a head-on. It's not always safe and great, especially if you stay in there too long, as I did right there. But yeah, with excellent roll rate and bad to below average turn time, you get an overall maneuverability that is decent. I think the roll rate is nice. I think you can make nice defensive maneuvers. You just again got to be careful with too many G's in pulling with the elevator. But if you keep that in mind and the fact that you're flying a delta wing, and this plane can be quite effective for you. You can also attack columns quite effectively, as you just saw. Got some medium tanks, got armored cars, 9 targets in total. It has nice bomb loads. I like it. I don't like to stay low too long, so that's why I have a preference for the bombs when you go bombing, because you just throw them off and you lose them, and after that you're just the fighter that this plane also can be, and that can be quite nice. There is no issue with overheating in this plane because it cools off quite quickly. It does eventually though, it does heat up and gets to the ember, but if you just pull it to 95 then you should be alright quite quickly. It cools off in seconds, by the way, so that's good. The durability in this plane is decent, except for those wing snaps, but for the rest it's quite a sturdy plane that can be hit. If you're hit equally in the wing bases, they can both be black and you can fly this plane home easily. With one wing damage it's a little bit more difficult, but still you can take quite a bit of damage in this plane. The repair cost in this plane is 4,810 Silver Lions, which is very low. This is a very good repair cost, and that makes the plane even more interesting, especially for pilots that are a little bit more towards the average side when it comes to their performance. With a kill and a few ground targets you can also already make a good money with this plane. Because of this repair cost. If you do get hit or you get killed after that, you will still make a profit, and that is a big advantage in this plane. As to the rewards, you get a 428% research point multiplier and a 300% Silver Lion multiplier. Now the RP multiplier is actually quite good. I would say it's actually good, and the Silver Lion boost multiplier is not good. So that is unfortunate, otherwise this plane would be a Silver Lion beast. The repair cost is low, so they tweaked the Silver Lion multiplier down. So this doesn't become a Silver Lion beast, I think. I don't know. Gaijin just tweaks those kind of things too much. I think it should be equal across the board. And if you want to tweak a plane performance-wise, it should be moved in battle rating. But for that, they need to decompress the higher tiers, and they still haven't done that. Top tier should be at 12.3 right now, not 11.3, as I've said before when that patch hit. Not this patch, but the last patch. Anyway, the use of this plane is quite versatile. It can energy fight a bit, but I wouldn't call that one of its main roles. It cannot turn fight for the life of it because it's a delta wing. It can roll though in defensive flying, which is nice. It is quite good in a dive, which makes it quite a capable boom and zoomer. And that is, as a fighter, how I usually try to use it. Boom and zooming, boom and running is the way to go in this plane. And it is a more than very capable close air support fighter. And it makes it very versatile. It is very capable to go into ground RB, and it is very useful in air RB because this plane is capable of defending itself in the situation where it comes under attack. Great roll rate, great stuff like that. So I'm quite happy with it. I'm flying one of the later versions at the moment, which also has countermeasures, and it's only a little bit higher than this plane with missiles. It seems to be very interesting. I've only flown it for 2 matches, I believe. Haven't looked at all the options yet when it comes to that, but it looks very nice. And so far I like the Skyhawk experience. Because I did get used to those wing rips. I mean, I flew the Voitures, I flew a few other planes that are a little bit iffy when it comes to performance and wing rips and stuff like that. And when you are already used to that, flying Skyhawk is not that much of an adjustment. You just got to be careful in the turns, that's all. And for the rest, this plane is those guns, man. I cannot tell you enough about those guns. Those 30mm Defa guns are absolutely fantastic. And it's been a long time since I flew the Aidens. I already liked the Aidens in the past, but I mean, it's different time now. You move beyond what you were in the past usually in a game experience. You just become more and more experienced. So flying these guns now at this point is just wow. I was quite happily surprised. Especially because usually I have a little trouble here and there with aiming in jets when I come from props, and I've been moving into jets more and more again, and with these Defa guns I had no troubles finding my aim. So that's very nice, just feels awesome. And of course just the ground pounding, just throw off the bombs and you're ready for some other engagements, which can be quite interesting and fun. I like the skin, by the way, as well, on this 3-color skin on the Skyhawk. It's very nice. As I said before many times, I like the Israeli setup as it comes to skins and their choice of colors and stuff like that. But now on these later planes you get this 3-color option as well, and you get a no paint option as well. It's just just silver like many of the American skins. But I like this one a lot as well, next to the 2-color option that the Israeli have, which I like as well quite a bit. So I'm good with both of those setups when it comes to that. And here again, I'm in this last match I also had 3 kills, but I missed this TU-14. This should have been a 4-kill match as well, to be honest, but yeah. But I had great experiences in this first Skyhawk. 8.3 battle rating seems very good for it. Anti-mech, terror of the sky, bulletproof and on hand, 43,000 Silver Lions and almost 6,000 research points. I'll see you in the conclusion. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now the A-4H Skyhawk at 8.3 battle rating is an interesting plane. I did not like the Skyhawks in the past, but as you get used to the delta wings and the vulnerability in a turn, this plane actually has some very good versatility under its belt. It's got bombs, it's got rockets, you can put gun pods on it. You have great 30mm guns. She has an air start, you can boom and zoom in it, it has decent speed, it has fantastic roll rate. So there's quite a bit of stuff to go for. It also has the repair cost that is very low, and it just makes it an interesting plane. And I had some very decent results in this thing. I just hate that passive radar with the little beeps going on, and you can't turn it off. I hate that thing. But for the rest, it's it's quite a good plane actually. I was surprised since I had not the greatest memories on a Skyhawk, but yeah, I quite like this A4H at 8.3 battle rating. It seems quite an interesting proposal. Very efficient both in air RB and in ground. So yeah, just you'll have to try it out, I guess. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.